This morning, the fate of a local superintendent remains up in the air after a marathon meeting. Thanks so much for joining us here at 6 a.m. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Nada Rampur. Now, all of this surrounds the superintendent of the San Diego Union High School District. And amid some controversial comments, CBS 8's Ariana Cohen joining us live now in Encinitas. This meeting ending way late into the night while most people were sleeping. What's the latest?
Yes, things got very heated as parents and students rallied. No decision was made last night, and now people are calling for trustee Michael Allman to resign. Dr. Cheryl James Ward was put on administrative leave last month after some took issue with her comments about Asian students' performance. Last month, Dr. James Ward made comments at a diversity, equity, and inclusion training meeting. She went on to compare Asian students to Latin students after trustee Michael Allman posed a question. Last night, the board took public comment here and met behind closed doors for hours. Some are supporting Superintendent Dr. James Ward, while others are calling the board to get her fired. Here's the controversial moment that started it all.
Do we know why Asians do so well in school? Do we know why?
So here in San Diego, we have an influx of Asians from China. And the people who are able to make that journey are wealthy.
While some people may stand by Allman's side, some parents spoke out against Allman at the meeting. The atmosphere was very heated, and one of the posters in the video shows people demanding Michael Allman resign for, quote, a history of bullying, intimidation, harassment, and racist attacks. Again, no decision has been made yet. Stay with us on this developing story on later editions of our newscast and CBS8.com. Reporting live from Encinitas, Ariana Cohen, CBS 8.
Ariana, thank you so much for that update. A man is in jail this morning accused of killing his mother. The sheriff's department says the 88-year-old woman was found dead in a home on Cordo Lane in unincorporated El Cajon early yesterday morning. Deputies arrested her son, 55-year-old Chase Folks. Authorities are still looking into what happened.
Well, COVID booster shots for young kids could be available as soon as today. The director of the CDC just gave the final approval after an advisory panel recommended Pfizer's third dose for kids 5 to 11. Kids will be able to get their boosters 5 months after their second vaccine dose. The CDC is also strengthening its recommendation that people 12 and up who are immunocompromised get a second booster or fourth dose. That also goes for anyone over the age of 50. The CDC cites a steady increase in COVID cases over the past month. And here in San Diego, county health officials reporting more than 1,500 new cases of COVID-19. That's the most we've seen in one day since mid-February. And a reminder, this only includes positive tests that were reported to the county. The actual number, including positive at-home tests, is believed to be higher. The weekly number of reported infections also increased by 40% from last week. Right now, 110 people countywide are hospitalized with COVID. That number has stayed relatively flat since late March. And right now, the nation's supply of baby formula being reinforced by shipments that are coming in from Europe. The supply may soon get a boost internally as well. FDA Commissioner Robert Califf told lawmakers one of the country's biggest formula makers could open a factory within the next few days.
Within days, it will get better, but it will be a few weeks before we're back to normal.
That's the plant that was shut down. Well, the commissioner sidestepped questions about whether his agency should have intervened earlier at that plant at the center of the national shortage. Just yesterday, the Senate passed a bill to give low-income families access to a wider variety of formulas. President Biden is expected to sign the measure. The president has also launched the first Operation Fly formula flights. Right now, cargo planes are being sent to Switzerland to pick up more than 200 pallets of formula.
There are more San Diegans living on the streets and in shelters than 2 years ago. This morning, we're getting a look at the point-in-time count, which was done back in February. So take a look right here. It found about 8,400 people are homeless here in San Diego County, and that is a 10% jump from the year 2020. More than 4,100 were on the streets, over 4,300 in shelters, as you see these numbers. As many as 30% of homeless individuals were women, about a quarter of them senior citizens.
The oldest person that we found unsheltered was an 87-year-old black gentleman in his car. That is too old to be without shelter, to be without basic needs.
Now, there are some bright spots in that data, including a 30% decrease in the veteran homeless population. Homelessness in San Diego, of course, a big concern for so many of us. CBS 8 working for you to get to the root of this problem. Mayor Todd Gloria says he's aware of what's happening on the streets. In nearly every neighborhood in San Diego, homeless people are taking over some of the public walkways, the canyons, and abandoned properties.
We cannot claim to be America's finest city if we have 8,000 homeless people living on our streets.
Mayor Gloria says if we really want to see the homeless problem improve, we need to adjust how to deal with those who are severely mentally ill or who suffer from substance abuse. He says the legislature is on its way to approving Care Court. That Care Court would require accountability and treatment.
Answer right now in California is that if we approach them with one of our outreach workers and say, would you like some assistance, and they turn us down, that's the end of the conversation. And that is just wrong.
Now, if you would like to watch the full one-on-one interview with Mayor Todd Gloria, you can go to our website, cbs8.com. A no-fault eviction moratorium is about to take effect in the city of San Diego. It starts on Sunday. This moratorium protects renters in two different ways. First, it prohibits landlords from forcing tenants out so they can take properties off the market. Second, landlords cannot make changes to the property that are not ordered by government agencies or agreed to by the tenants. This moratorium will remain in effect until September 30th or 60 days after the local state of emergency, whichever one comes first.
An update this morning for drivers. Gas prices in San Diego remain at record highs. Right now, the average price San Diego County remains at $6.02 a gallon. That is the same price as yesterday. Although prices haven't moved, they are still the highest on record in San Diego. Congress is looking to put an end to price gouging at the pump. The House just passed a bill that would give the FTC the power to investigate energy companies for excessive price increases. It would also give the president the power to declare them as unlawful. The bill now heads to the Senate.
And this morning, more local students getting ready to receive their diploma. So enjoy your day. Here are some of the graduations happening around town. Cal State San Marcos will have ceremonies starting at 9 a.m., then 1:30 and 6 p.m. today and tomorrow. University of San Diego law students will be graduating at 9 a.m. at Torero Stadium, and University of San Diego grad students will have their ceremony at 4 p.m. in Founders Chapel. Students from Miramar College also graduating 10 a.m. at Compass Point.
Hopefully the weather's going to be cooperating for those graduates. A little misty and rainy out here this morning.
Yeah, this morning, absolutely. Over the course of the weekend, though, things are looking really nice. I mean, we're going to hang on to the marine layer clouds through the morning. That could mean at least that while you're sitting there in graduation, you're not seeing the beams of light, the rays of the sun beaming on you, and we'll at least have very mild temperatures. So that's the good news, is that temperatures will be in the upper 60s along the coast and even some low 70s as you move inland. Want to start off with what we're seeing as you walk out the door right now. It's 6:08 on the clock. You can see where those showers are located. We're seeing a good stretch of them. Patchy, light drizzle coming down as we speak. Main kind of bulk of moisture is just around the Bay Park area. We've seen it in the Hillcrest area, moving toward about the North Park region. We see it up in the Claremont area. So these are all spots where we're encountering just that light drizzle. No accumulating rain so far. Haven't even seen this come down as 1/100th of an inch. But if you look out your window, you might see those damp roads. You might see those dense clouds, and even a little bit of a breeze once you walk out the door. Temperatures are expected to make their way to the upper 60s along the coast, upper 60s inland, no longer 70s like we saw for the last several days. Mountains are cooling down by more than 15 degrees this afternoon to 60 degrees. And it looks like those deserts remain relatively breezy right now, with 94 as that forecast high. Again, about 10 degrees cooler than just yesterday. But walking out the door, we're mostly mild. Upper 50s, low 60s out there. The weekend forecast still looks beautiful. So we, again, are expecting that marine layer to be intact through the morning and then break apart by the afternoon. That means by the afternoon, closer to 11 a.m. and noon, we'll see plenty of sunshine in the mix, at least some filtered sunlight, and temperatures are going to be just around average over the course of it, if not slightly below average along the immediate coastline. In terms of normal, we'll be about 2 degrees cooler than normal today in San Diego. Ramona will be 7 degrees cooler than normal, and that's really what we see carrying on over through that weekend. Want to take you to what's going on the roads right now. Just one crash that we've seen pop up that's causing some delays as you get on to about the 56. So this is at Carmel Creek Road. Looks like there's a crash on the entry ramp onto the 56 westbound from Carmel Creek Road. That's the northbound lanes there, causing some slight congestion there on the 5 getting onto the 56. it looks like, and even from the 56 onto the 5 northbound, it also looks like. But that's where CHP is on scene working to clear that. Besides that, we haven't seen any major crashes or collisions popping up this morning. 6:10 right now. Back to you.